Buff Nation, what is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday or Sunday. I mean, what a weekend. What a weekend, right? Rawhide, he's going to be joining me here in just a little bit. But man, what a weekend, right? What a weekend. Y'all be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Check in. I mean, y'all know how this is done. Take your shoes off before you wipe on, or walk on white carpet, right? So hit that like button as we're getting in here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'll get to your comments here in just a bit, but man, I gotta say, this blew away all the expectations, man, that I had. This thing was freaking crazy. The idea of building a line, rebuilding a line through one day essentially is just absolutely insane. Rahai, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come on, man. Okay, awesome. We'll go ahead and talk through this recruiting class and then get to some of your questions, comments. I mean, this is just insane.
Hey, what's going on? What's happening?
Man, another crazy day, another crazy weekend. Man, I feel like I'm on top of the world. How are you doing, Rahad?
Man, I'm doing great, man. You know what I'm saying? They've been keeping it, you know what I'm saying? They've been keeping the block hot. You know what I'm saying? Picking up these cats left and right. Have you mentioned Mr. Miller yet, the young man?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Well, I haven't mentioned it yet, but I got him in
I
my
apologize.
title description, man. No, you're good. But Drelon Miller, man, what are your thoughts on him?
Man, I'm extremely ecstatic about it. Hey, I'm more happy about it because Texas A&M, hey, they lost it. I like the fact that they got it from them. You know what I'm saying? So hey, I'm all in. You know what I'm saying? I'm all in.
Man, nothing sweeter than getting some former Aggies or some former Aggie commits. I love it. I love it. And out here, they're going to get the right coaching. No doubt about it. I'm thrilled. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our 24/7 page. And Rawhide, I wanted to lead with this question with you, man. You know, I had spoken a little bit on what maybe a few weeks ago on what I was expecting for us ranking wise to be like recruiting. And I was like, probably somewhere within the top 20 or so. But man, I feel like right now we're at, let's see, 40th overall, I guess. But
Right.
man, I feel like we could possibly be having getting into that top 10 if we're including the transfer portal. What are your thoughts right now?
Oh yeah, if they include the transfer portal, I'm a little more comfortable with saying 15, but top 10 is very attainable. You know what I mean? It's very attainable. And I'm not even sure if Miller's, because they tend to take a while to update the score. So I'm not even sure if Miller's score is has been tabulated yet. I understand that he's on there, but it usually takes him a day or so before the scores are tabulated. Because if you all notice, they showed those transfers last night, but they still had him sitting at 11, and now they're sitting at 3.
Man, I got you. Yeah, I think even I saw a screenshot earlier today. Let me see if I got that somewhere. But yeah, we might even be 29 overall. Oh, I guess that included Aaron Butler. So he's gone. But man, give me your quick thoughts right now on Drelon Miller. Who else we got? I guess we got the transfers. A bunch of offensive linemen. Kahlil Benson coming over here from Indiana. Justin Mayers. Well, let me say their sizes. 6'6", 325. Justin Mayers, 6'3", 309, coming over here from UTEP. We got Tyler Johnson. He's probably most excited about. 6'5", 320, coming over here from Houston. Yakiri Walker, 6'3", 267. I'm hoping that's a typo, but playing center, coming over here from UConn. And then we got Terrell Timmons Jr., speedy wide receiver, coming over here from NC State. What are your thoughts on these guys?
Man, I those offensive linemen, man, that gives them some opportunity, right, to build a line that can help you do its thing. I am extremely happy with those guards that they picked up. You know what I'm saying? Some kids that's established. Hey, and the right size. So you know what I'm saying, we won't be hearing about how small they are anymore. And you know what I'm saying, you anchoring it down with Jordan Seaton at tackle. I I bro, I am ecstatic about it. And I think man, you talked, you know what I'm saying, off the show about that tight end. Do we know if that was an actual commitment or not?
That Cincinnati commitment, or that Cincinnati tight end.
Right.
No, he hasn't committed yet. I think some are feeling pretty confident about that one since he visited this weekend. So hopefully, there's been a lot of a buzz around the tight end from Cincinnati. Let me pull up his name so I get all these names right. Let me see here. And then Will Shepherd. If you've seen on Twitter, his dad has been tweeting a lot about the
Oh yeah.
Buffs. So
Mhm.
he's a 6'3" wide receiver from Vanderbilt that I think some would expect him to come in here and kind of fill that Zay Weaver role. But let me see here because I texted it to Clarence yesterday for his show.
I
Yeah,
can say
so
this, man. That Drelon Miller, man, you know, grabbing him, you know what I'm saying? I already talked about the Texas A&M aspect of it, but grabbing him makes me feel a little bit better about a man out of California. What's his
oh
name?
yeah, Aaron Butler.
Aaron Butler. So it makes me feel a little bit better about Aaron. And but I don't even know if Aaron is a total loss though. What do you think?
Oh my, yeah, Rawhide. Let's address this. Guys. I'm gonna be thrilled anytime somebody decides to commit to the bus. I'm gonna be so excited. But at the end of the day, what moves forward after that? We cannot be emotionally wrecked by the decisions of 18-year-olds. We cannot
Hmm.
be wrecked by what tweets they're liking or what tweets they're posting if they decommit and or commit to another school after that. Like, guys, there are so many fan bases that are like that. For instance, one that we've been talking about a lot on Buffs Twitter, the Talkin' Vols, those Vols fans. They wanted Jordan Seaton, all of that. Then all of a sudden, once he decides to go to another school, it's because he's got bad character and wants attention and he
Hmm.
wants legalized marijuana. Like, it's ridiculous. And I don't want us to be a fan base like that. No more losing our minds over the decisions of 18-year-olds. Not everybody is going to come play for this program. Not
Facts.
not everybody's going to be the right fit. And at the end of the day, I mean, I would have loved if Aaron Butler had stayed, but at the end of the day, how this wide receiver room is shaping up, if we are bringing in somebody like Will Shepherd too, on top of Kam Mikell and Drelon Miller, I mean, these guys are significantly higher rated prospects than Aaron Butler that also played in big time uh, like competition in Georgia and
Hmm.
Texas.
Hmm.
I'm not tripping about it. It was going to be a while before he saw the field, anyways. So I don't understand, when a guy decommits and then you see what else is going on. Like, why are we getting in a fuss about that? Nah, man, just wish him well. Just wish him
Right.
well. We don't have
Right.
200 scholarship spots for the team.
Facts. I think you laid that out wonderfully. You know, I'll just piggyback up on it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just like we can get happy when Coach Prime flips a prospect, so that also should give us the understanding that that can happen to us sometimes. So we should be taking that in stride. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It ain't the end of the world. And these young men out here, man, this is probably one of their best times of their lives. So they're gonna take full advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? And I know I may be out here on this you know what I'm saying, out here standing on my own. I still think there's a chance with him. I still think there's a chance with him.
Hey, and
I
if
have
that
no
happens,
information. I have no information. Whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa, 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 whoa. I have no information, none at all. I'm just strictly talking from the fact that Coach Prime played with his father, and it seemed like that was a
yeah.
decent relationship. So, you know, so I could be two left shoes. So I just, you know, what I'm saying, that's just my feeling on it. Relationship wise.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And uh, again, guys, like there's so much to be excited about. I mean, we've had like 6, 7 guys commit here over the last week. and to be spending our energy out about begging some guy to come back to the program when we don't even know like what's going on, like that's wasted energy. Like let's put it towards these guys that are committing. And I mean, let's talk about Coach Lodeholt. Let's talk about that. Coming out with a bang, man. I mean, he rebuilt this offensive line in a week. I mean, thoughts on that, Rawhide? Who do you see as your starting five right now?
Oh, man, you know what? It's hard for me to say because I'm holding out hope from the man from Oregon. What's his name? McRoy. I'm still holding out hope for him, man. Because you know what I'm saying? I like to see people, you know what I'm saying? I like to watch people rebuild old cars. I like to watch people build things, right?
Yeah.
And I think he could be another key component in trying to put this offensive line over the top. No, whether you reap his benefits next season or not, right? You can reap those benefits down the line. So I'm still hoping for him. But to answer your question off top, I would say, you know, you go Seaton, you go Tyler Brown.
Okay.
You go. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'll give you my five.
Yeah, give me your five. Give me your five. I just had to stop because those guys, because you got two tackles. I don't know who's gonna win that out. You got my man from what was that?
Indiana?
Number 66. Not Indiana, the other brother. McRae? Was it McRae?
Well, McCroy's the guy that we're targeting from committed to Oregon.
No, not him.
Just
what was it, Mays?
We got Justin Mayers. We got Kahlil Benson.
It's a toss-up at that guard position. Man, there's gonna be some extreme competition at that guard position. So I can't really say because I don't even know. Oh Lord, does it sound bad? I mean, Tyler Brown, if he stay at guard, he's going to have some extreme competition. So I guess that's why I'm stuttering and
I think he moves to center,
man.
I think he moves to center. He's got to move to center. I don't want no 270-pound guy. I don't care how good he graded out at UConn right now, man.
Right.
We know that lesson, man.
I understand that. Is he really 270 though? I read somewhere that he's more around 290, even though that's not very big either. But Tyler Linderbaum is under 300 pounds, the Baltimore Ravens center. So just food for thought. So, but I don't know, man. I guess that's why I'm stuttering about it because the issue it's not even an issue. The good thing about it is you really don't know.
Yeah. No.
That's what's good about that. You have the opportunity, right? That you can slot one or two or three of these guys in these slots. So it's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say, but that is an excellent problem to have.
Oh,
but go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead with
absolutely wonderful. Well, I think that there are some that I will say are probably favorites, and this is what I'll say. Seaton, I think, will start at left tackle. I think the transfer that we're bringing in from Houston, Tyler Johnson, will start at left guard. And then Tyler Brown, I think, should be the favorite to start at center. But then you got Mayers and you got Bedford, who I think either of those guys could play right guard there. And then we'll have to see what happens. Or not Bedford. Kahlil Benson. My bad.
Right. There you go.
Benson and Mayers can compete for that job position or that job spot, that guard spot, if I can talk correctly. And then Bedford, he has not committed, but a lot of people seem to think that he might be the next on the way competing with Savion. And I would imagine that he would have the leg up over Savion right now. But bringing in a lot of guys that, again, they're going to compete. Oh, shoot. Yes, we just got the tight end from Cincinnati, baby.
He just committed?
Man. Dude. Let's go. Thank you, Underground Media. Shout out to Underground Media. Appreciate it, man.
We talked about him yesterday. That That's probably one of the first true tight ends. Well, I think that's the only true tight end that Coach Prime has had at Colorado. The other
Yes.
guy stayed hurt, and Mikey was a conversion. So man, that's off the chain.
He's 6'4", 248 pounds. He had 5 touchdowns last year for Cincinnati. I think just a little under 300 receiving yards. But man, 250 pounds. I absolutely love that. Hopefully we get another tight end or two, because I want to be running a lot more of that 11, 12 personnel, it just gives you a lot more flexibility in what kind of offense you can run when you got those guys lining up next to the line that can either run out or block. They're just as effective with that.
Mhm.
So, this guy's a dog. And Rawhide, we're getting offensive linemen from Houston. We're getting a tight end from Cincinnati. We're getting better and also weakening other Big 12 opponents. And that
Mhm.
is absolutely huge.
Right. See, I'm thinking, and that's what I was really talking about. Justin Myers, that's the guy. I mean, my man
Oh, from
squad,
UTEP?
yeah, from UTEP. That's who I couldn't think of. But bro, he could come in and command a starting position.
Yes.
A man sitting there squatting 640 pounds on the squat rack. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
hey, I'm that's why I say I really don't know who's going to be your starting 5 offensive linemen, man. But again, remember, guys, it's an excellent problem to have.
Yes. Yes. The fact that we're going to have real competition, this is a huge deal. And the fact, again, shout out to Coach Loadholt. Couldn't have started out with a bigger bang with Jordan Seaton, and then with rebuilding the offensive line in one weekend. Absolutely insane. I got to admit, I was a little skeptical on the quality of player that we were going to be able to get in the portal. But man, it just goes to show, like, just killing my expectation. It's like CU and the staff, they've had an entire year to recruit and fundraise, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
Mm-hmm. You know what Brian House said, just speaking about those 3 offensive linemen, Tyler Johnson. I know everybody's seen this tweet. Tyler Johnson, Justin Myers and Yakiri Walker, 58 starts, only 5 sacks, 2,137 pass blocking snaps. Coach Prime told y'all that he was looking for some starters. And it looks like he got it.
And we got starters. And I want to throw another thank you out to George Hageman, guy who's associated and I think is director of the IMG football program or something like that. But anyways, close relationship with Jordan Seaton. Big props to him, man. I don't think that this relationship happens without him, which is wonderful. And we've talked about this all the time, Rawhide. Just imagine where this offense would be if we had the 80th ranked offensive line in the country. You got to imagine now getting some real coaching, coming over here from Oklahoma, bringing in some guys that have that true size, that are better athletes. You have to imagine that this offense, it's going to be humming closer to what we were hoping for after seeing the first couple games this year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And two, for people that, that's a little more conservative in their football evaluation, let's compare this to last year. Because let's be honest, we were, I can even say myself, I've talked about it on your show before. I took some knots on my head, right? Because I was defending the offensive line before the season, right? I was going in on your guy, that's on Locked On. And because I didn't think the trench play was that important as far as on the defensive side, so I thought the all line would hold up. And the guys that we picked up last year. Now, granted, we hadn't seen these guys come together and play at all, but we can say this: these guys that Coach Prime has picked up thus far, these guys has been proven on the field. They
Yes.
wasn't playing behind somebody. They wasn't, somebody that was hoping to step up and play. These guys did it actually on the field in some big time football. So I think the comparisons are totally different from last year Because you're gonna get some naysayers say, "Well, they said the same thing that they said last year." No, this is a step up in quality.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we started to notice that real quick when this portal entered, when it started, all the guys entering, it was clear that, I mean, just position by position, this is the portal's getting deeper every year. So maybe we're just a little bit ahead of the curve there. And yeah, again, like I think we'll probably have around 15 high school guys commit. The rest are going to be transfers and they're going to be ready to play again. Like, regardless of what your thoughts are, I think after the hires and the recruits that we've gotten, I'll step back from speculating, if how long Coach Prime wants to be in here, especially after his comments that he made about, wanting to ride off into the sunset with national championships. Like, I think it's very clear. You look at his actions spell or that he's going to be here for quite a while. And, but we don't have time to waste regardless. We're going out there. We need to compete. We got to go get our guys like Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, not only, drafted high, but in Heisman contention, that sort of conversation, as well as win games. You could call that daddy ball or whatever, but as a fan, like winning along with having those guys highlighted and recognized with those sorts of awards and draft capital is very important to me. And I think it is with this staff as well.
Facts. Yeah, totally agree, bro. Totally agree. Let me ask you this, because I'm not aware. I don't have that deep inside knowledge, but are the guys that saying he just signed, especially these offensive linemen, do you know if they're available for transferring this coming up spring, or they have to wait after the spring? Do you have any information on that?
I don't know, but I would assume that they're available to be here in January. I do want to shout out Joe Button real quick for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. He's saying Prime drop a bag. Someone gave Prime millions. Well, here's the thing, man. We've had a whole year to fundraise. And again, if we are spending money, if we're raising enough money for a $15 million stadium or $15 million replay screen at our stadium, you got to imagine there's a lot of fundraising going behind the scenes for NIL collectives as well. Again, CU has a large fan base, a large alumni base, and now the fan base is becoming exponentially larger with Coach Prime and everybody here. And again, a lot of these guys, man, they own businesses. We have people in the chat that their tax write-offs go to a place like the 5430 Foundation. Thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, man, are coming into this all the time. I guarantee you there are millions that they have to play with in terms of providing NIL. I know Jordan Seaton sold on the vision here. You can tell from his interviews that he gave on Thursday, but by no means is he coming here for free. We're making him comfortable. Absolutely.
Facts. Now the guy that I think he works on the Tex Ags 247, Gabe Brooks, and he just stated that the bottom line for Colorado is this: just find a way to get Miller the ball, whether vertically underneath or handing it to him. He's built like a running back, and his run after the catch prowess mirrors one. So that was the guy that that's the man that covers a lot of Texas A&M. So he has nothing but braggadocious about what is Drelon Miller. So hey,
yeah,
Colorado got a good one. They got a good one in here, a good one.
Man. And we're not done. As you guys can tell, just like last year, there were commitments pretty much in news every day throughout the recruiting season. So guys, like, if you're saying, where are the linebackers, where are the defensive linemen, where are, the backup quarterback, we did have one visit from Kentucky, so, where are these other players? Where's the kickoff specialist? I started a little bit of a Twitter storm, today, tweeting that out. But guys, it's going to be coming. Like, there's a plan. Obviously, they wanted, the topic of conversation to be the offensive line, and then these freshman skill guys, or transfer skill guys as well that are coming over here. But man, I feel good about Jac'quan McCroy. 365 pounds. What is he? 6'5", 6'4". We were talking about him offline the other day. Committed to Oregon right now. I still feel like he's in play, and I think the best plan with him would be to have him develop for a year. Let's start building that pipeline, that offensive line pipeline that Georgia has, that Alabama has, that Texas has, where these guys get a red shirt year to really get comfortable, to grow into their bodies, to get stronger, to understand their responsibilities. I'm hoping that Jordan Seaton isn't the only offensive line commit that we have coming from the high school ranks. We also got Issiah Walker as well coming out here from JUCO.
Hey, 6'8", 365. 6'8", 365.
That's just, that kind of size is just absolutely insane. And again, guys, I know there was a comment in here that's saying Prime's not focused on weakening other teams. Absolutely right. I'm just saying it's another thing. Like, we're grabbing transfers from the conference. It's like it's a double win.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah.
Shout out to Bishop Frank saying, facts, the future is now. Thank you so much for that super chat. Really means a lot. Rahat, I'm sorry that I interrupted you real quick.
No, you go ahead. You go. No, you go ahead. You're right. You're right on that. I just, I know how you feel about Will Shepherd.
Yeah.
I know how you feel about him. How do you feel about him?
Man, SEC guys, I like it, and he's going to have a better quarterback here with Shedeur if he ends up committing here. Now, again, nice size, 6'3". He's got that NFL type of body. So you love that. And just like what we saw with Zay Weaver and Jimmy Horn, they're only going to get better playing with a true elite college quarterback, right? And he's got good ball skills. I mean, you'll see he's going up sometimes between two, for instance, like two Georgia defenders, man, and snagging these balls down. The guy can absolutely play. And again, we don't have time to waste. We're coming out here aiming for a Big 12 title right out the gate. I mean, the conference is wide open. Yes, we got guys, I think like Omar Miller is still going to get plenty of run, but we can't afford to be thin at any position. Just like these college football blue blood teams are built, man. They just have this next guy up, next man up mentality, and we really need to start building more layers and layers to every position that we got here. What do you think about him?
I got to piggyback on you. I think he'd be an excellent target for Shedeur Sanders. And also referring to the fact of not having time, I know sometimes people get misunderstood. We're not saying as far as not having the time is now for a clock on Coach Prime, but the time is now for a clock on Shedeur Sanders, guys. You can't waste. Coach Prime cannot waste the best quarterback next year, arguably in college football, and Shedeur Sanders deserves to be able to play in the college football playoffs next year. I'm not saying that they're going to make it, but I'm telling you, with a talent like that, because let's be honest about it. We know that my man from USC, he was disappointed. He was disappointed coming in this season. And we don't want to see that happen to Shedeur Sanders. We want the best quarterback in the draft to have a shot at playing in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So the time is now.
Oh, yeah. And again, guys, like, might we see some other decommitments or whatever? Again, I'm just along for the ride. I don't know, but again, like we're bringing in guys that, in my opinion, they're going to be contributors at every position, and so that's why it's like we can't be calling for all these guys to come in here and then not expect some changes to happen on, with some other position groups. Maybe I'm in the minority on this, but someone pointed out to me yesterday that Adam Vinatieri's son hit the transfer portal. I tweet at him. I'm like, man, we need this guy. The Cal kicker is in the portal, man. That guy's got a leg. Let's get a guy. It is completely inexcusable for us to not have a touchback every single kickoff playing at 5,400 feet above sea level, man. Guys, this is absolutely ridiculous. Football is a results-oriented business. This is all about business. if you can't get it done, we got to find somebody that can get it done and do the job better. I'm hoping we get a kicker.
Facts. Now, now y'all know I'm partial to Mata. I am partial to Mata, but I I gotta agree, man. They gotta get a guy who can kick the ball through the end zone. I'm not putting that on Mata's head, you know what I'm saying? But I am I gotta agree with you, bro. I think me and you talked about that earlier. I would love for them to find a high school guy.
Yeah.
I would love for
Yeah.
them to do it. You know what I'm saying? Kick it, somebody to kick it out the end zone. Because man, let's be honest about it, man. I know we don't. I know people get perturbed. I think people get more perturbed about Mata, right? I think they get more perturbed from the fact that it don't look good. Man, that man be drilling them balls down the middle of the goalpost, bro. He be drilling them, bro. Y'all Mata be hitting them, man. They be right down the middle. They be low.
Great.
Yeah, they be low, but
within like 50, man, I feel fine about
it. I think 50. I think 50. I think he can. I think 50. Honestly, I think he can. Be straight up with you. I believe, right? He can kick it farther than 50, but I think he lose. I hadn't seen it, but I think his accuracy would be off. You know what I mean? So I think he's more accurate, and it cuts him down. And his legs not that big, but you know what I'm saying? But he's so accurate, right? If you get him within 50 yards, he's nailing it. If you ain't got a high snap, you see what I'm saying? Or the left side of the line ain't
not kicking on the shitty dirt part of the field against Arizona. They were like right in the dirt patch, man.
Right. So people don't like his height, but dude, he's pretty. He knocks him down, and that's why Coach Prime liked him so much. Because Coach Prime can depend on I think Coach Prime feels like I hate to try to speak for coaches because I can't. I'm assuming, right, that his feeling is this: if Mata gets it off, he's going to hit that field goal.
Yeah.
I think that's how he feels. The problem is getting it off.
Yeah. And again, kind of like I think what the plan should be, or kind of how we saw it work at Jackson State was, I mean, this offense was so good. Mata didn't need to kick anything that far, man, And so hopefully that can just be the case. It's just, man, we need somebody that is where we're not even giving anybody on a kick return a chance. Or we're not giving them field position at the 35 because we're kicking it out of bounds. So again, it's nothing personal to Mata. We just need somebody that can kick touchbacks, man. That's how I feel about it. But again, guys, thank you so much for the super chats. We're going to try and get to all these. Okay, auto star super chats. For some reason, that setting came off. All right. Indigo Gardens coming here with a $2 super chat over to you, Rawhide, saying, I love the show. Everyone smash the like button. Sco Buffs. Appreciate you, Indigo Gardens.
Appreciate you, Indo. Appreciate you, man. Looking out. Thank you.
I love it. Next, we got a $20 from Tremaine Young. Again, member of the fellas. Always appreciate you. Much love. Hi, David. Love your show. We said for weeks that Colorado need to be more unpredictable. Next year, will we be more unpredictable on offense? Also, what can we expect from this year's new arrivals to the team? Well, right now, I'll answer that last one. The new arrivals from the team, I think, are going to play. They're absolutely going to play. We're going to have a new offensive line. We're going to have a real dual threat type target for Shador at tight end now, which is absolutely massive. And again, I think there are kind of three guys that we can kind of narrow this offensive coordinator role down to based off of Coach Prime's comments of saying he's already in the building. I think that's either Pat Shurmur, Brett Bartolone, or a dark horse, just because we haven't seen him, Byron Leftwich. But I think with all of those guys, because I think regardless of if Pat Shurmur's OC or not, he's going to be influencing the offense quite a bit. You're going to see more pro-style sets. You're going to see Shador under center a little bit more, or in pistol, like we've seen Pat Shurmur incorporate over the last few games when he was calling plays. And again, when you got a tight end that can do both things, when you got a running back fully healthy coming back like Alton McCaskill, when you got 4 to 8 seconds to throw the ball, you're going to be able to throw short intermediate, long developing plays. I think what our just predictability and our lack of protection, it really narrowed us in on the types of plays that we could call. Anything else to add to that, Rawhide?
No, I think everything you said right there, I agree with. And I see people asking about Bailey. Let me tell you what I want them to do with Bailey, since we're on the offensive line. I said the same thing about Bishop, but I think it also applies to Bailey. Pull Bailey off the offensive line, right? Let him, slim down a few pounds and make him an H-back, make him package your card, make him a blocking tight end, somebody that you're not necessarily going to throw the ball to, you know what I'm saying? Line up in the backfield, help block, use him in that manner. Because if y'all look at him, right, he ain't, he's kind of small, you know what I mean? But he's big enough to help blocks in the ends. I love to see them
blow up some linebackers.
Blow up some linebackers, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doing things like that. And every blue moon, throw a pitch out to him, you know what I'm saying, when you play breakdown, because ain't nobody looking for him to catch. I think they could use Bailey like that, because he really has that type of size. And I know I always refer back to Patrick Ricard, because I watch a lot of Ravens ball, but you know what I'm saying, Patrick Ricard is a great example, man.
I love that idea, Rawhide. I hadn't heard that before because, man, I wasn't a Bailey fan this year.
I ain't no Bailey fan either.
Yeah. No. But I like that. I would start the Bailey gang if we got him in there as that Patrick Ricard role. We need to be more physical. We need to be more nasty. I'm hoping that these offensive linemen that we're bringing in, these guys have thrown some eye pokes and thrown some shots, at the end of some plays, have cleaned up the end of some plays. They've gone to bat for their quarterback, which we didn't see happen this year with the offensive line, man. I don't think it's because they were jealous of Shedeur, there was beef or anything like that. I just think, man, when you are getting your ass kicked on every single play, are you going to have the brain space, man, or are you going to have the energy to do any of that extra stuff?
Facts. I
think that's how it is, man.
Yeah, and I gotta agree with Coach Kev. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go back to the model.
No, you're good.
I agree with Coach Kev. I would rather have an accurate kicker than a kicker that can get you some distance, but you know what I'm saying, he can miss a 32, but he also could hit a 54. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of a flip of a coin, you know what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of kickers like that. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go backwards, but I just saw Coach Kev mention that, and I wanted to touch on it.
No worries. Bishop coming in here with another super chat. Thank you so much, sir. He's saying, Coach Loadholt, student of the game, techniques, schemes, and adjustments. You got a dog in Coach Phil. And again, guys, if you're not familiar with Coach Phil, coming here from Oklahoma as an analyst, previously spent time at Ole Miss as well on the recruiting aspect of things. So, when you're at a program like Oklahoma, you got to be fundamentally sound, teaching good technique, as well as at Oklahoma and Ole Miss. I mean, you have to be in the know on what's happening recruiting wise, and understand player development, understand scouting, all of that. I think he's the complete package. And again, big props to credit to Coach Prime on this, because just the way that I read the situation is last year he brought in Sean Lewis, and I think he had very little to do with the offensive line coach hire in Bill O'Boyle. I think him and Sean Lewis were kind of a package deal. You noticed when he was talking to our friends over at the panel earlier last week, he mentioned, hey, when I was interviewing this gentleman, these are the qualities that I really liked about him, all of that. I think, again, lesson learned in that, and we're moving forward now in a different direction. I think it's already paying dividends.
Right. Hey, and you know what? I know you was talking about him. I think, I'm saying, a man that played for the Vikings between 2009 and 2015, got great NFL. He played in the NFL, so he got that experience. In addition to that, you can't sleep on this. Not because I believe the little things matter. I really believe that. I was talking about, I was mentioning about my man, his daddy, the D-back coach. I don't know why I was wrong. I guess been on that, as Coach Hayes would say, cane juice, but I've been on his Ravens juice. But my man, when a guy like Phil Lodeholt, his size, y'all see how massive he is? Guess what? It's hard for a smaller person to tell a big guy how to use your size and weight. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
a guy like that size, being that massive, he can talk to Savion Washington, right? If they was able to pull my man from Oregon, right? A guy like that, he could talk to a guy because he walked in their shoes from being that massive, right? Because you develop particular type of habits because you're big and you can win from the sheer fact that you're big and large. So I like him coming over. He can talk from experience, being that size, being so massive. I have high expectations for Lode Hope, and I didn't even know that he coached at UCF. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
No, no.
Yeah, yeah, he
I didn't
coached at
even know
UCF.
prior to him being hired that he was a Colorado native. I mean, he's coming back home.
Right, he's from Fountain, Colorado. Right, right, right. And UCF, hey, offensive analyst at Ole Miss, right? He was offensive analyst at Oklahoma, and now he's there at Colorado. Man, there's a lot of things that you can get from that. That's why I like Stout. I know a lot of people they don't like they get mad at Stoutmire. That's why I like Stoutmire. That's why I like Caleb Mathis. It's
Yep.
that indirect coaching that they receive right from growing up with coaches. That's some information that they get in that when you just in general conversation. But there's some also things about Load Hope, him being that size, he can talk to a big dude and say, hey, bro, you know, you can't depend on your size and weight on this. You need to make this move, or you need to make, you know what I'm saying, you need to do this. So that's relatability, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No doubt.
Relatability, man. So I think that's excellent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really like that aspect.
I think that's a great point, and I thought this was funny. Last super chat that we have here is from K-Pud. Again, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. She said, "Did you all see on Amazon? Coach Prime said at one of the games, let's make them think we can run the ball. He said many times that he knew we couldn't run. Absolutely. I think again, we tried to run the ball, and." It was just hard for us to get momentum. Now we could say that is because we weren't committed to it, all that. And maybe that's what our, terrible offensive line really needed to become better was because I think we did see some better play near the end of the season when we did run the ball maybe a little bit more. But at the end of the day, we got the better guys in here now. We got better athletes in here. We have a better coach in here doing that. I think this was kind of funny, Rahat. I've watched the first 2 episodes of Coach Prime, and I need to do my season 2 or my episode 2 reaction, but I thought it was interesting, man. I hadn't seen one shot of Bill O'Boyle in that whole series yet.
Really? You know what? I hadn't seen him either, though.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him either. You know, I hadn't seen that either. And he honestly, he doesn't even need to be featured. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be mad at I ain't gonna be mad at Bill O'Boyle because honestly, you know what I'm saying? I know how you feel about him. I'm gonna just say, you know, it was a rebuilding year, you know what I'm saying? And he took some lumps that most teams do. So I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave it at
Yeah,
that.
man, he was cooked. I'll just say it.
See, Dave, you do know you're harder on them than me. You are very hard on them coaches, man.
I am. I'll still give Coach Prime an A, man. I'm always giving Coach Prime an A. I won't give him an A+ like you did now.
Yeah, I give him A+, bro. I give him A+.
Again, if there's somebody more deserving, or if there's somebody else to go on the panel, you're more deserving because of that A+ grade. But offensive line. I mean, again, when you're starting the season off, just regardless of if you believe this or not, and you're saying on camera, these guys just aren't strong enough, dude, shut the hell up and do your job, man. Get these guys coached up. Because again, these guys might have been bad. The performance was absolutely terrible. It doesn't happen. You're not giving up the most sacks in the NCAA. If your coaching is half decent, regardless of how bad the talent is. So I'm glad we can turn that corner. Bill O'Boyle is, he's going to have a lot of 280-pound dogs there at San Diego State playing just great. But K Pud said, sorry, didn't finish. Do you think that will put an end to daddy ball? Maybe in some sense, because you could say like, hey, we didn't run the ball a lot in the red zone because like we couldn't punch it in, and then we just started passing it. I mean, you saw that we tried to do that, for instance, Rawhide against Nebraska, and it just wasn't working. And yeah, we can only really pass it. But I think the daddy ball narrative is going to be there with Coach Prime as long as he's got kids playing for him. You know, at the end of the day, you want your quarterback, if he is your best player on the team, you know, at the end of the day, to be responsible for, you know, scoring a lot of touchdowns, man.
Let me say this. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all can get on my neck. It won't be until next year. Y'all can get on my neck. I'm telling you guys right now, that offense is going to look totally different next year. It is going to be closer to 50-50, run, pass. Listen, guys, I'm trying to tell y'all, this offense is going to be nearly unstoppable next year. Listen to me when I say this. Listen to me when I say that. Guys, write it down. Put it in the envelope. Rawhide Media said this offense is going to be off the chain. They will not call the game as you saw it this season. It won't happen. It is going to be off the M&F chain. Write that down.
Let's go, man.
And honestly, guys, they even may, because I see T. DeCole say they're going to run up the score. I ain't saying that. They may even score less points, but it will be so very efficient. It's going to be efficient, guys. I swear to you guys. Please listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you. Coach Prime already told y'all this year he played for hope. What hope mean is I'm going to put some stuff out there. I'm going to put it out there, let y'all see, you know what I'm saying, what I got. It's going to look good. Da-da-da-da-da. Y'all going to be like, yeah, you got hope. He said next year is expectations. He is expecting to win games. He's going to play this football like it's supposed to be played. I can't even say it. I know I'm going long on this one little simple point, but rest assured, get hyped. I don't care who y'all talk to. Get hyped. It's going to look totally different. I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone.
I'm drinking the black and gold Kool-Aid, baby, despite what the coaches are, you know, are texting our recruits' mamas, man. I'm drinking it. I'm all about it. And I want us to run up the score, man. I want us to give Nebraska, CSU, you know, another butt whooping, you know, that they really deserve, especially Coach Norvell, man. And yeah, I want this offense scoring points. I want us to be the opposite of 2022, where, I mean, our average margin of loss was like close to 30 points, man. Like let's even get Willie Gaines in there for a few passes, and you know what I'm saying? Like, let's have our offense be that successful. You know, where we're having our wide receivers riding the bench, man, might even be able to pick up some stats. So I just want a lot of people to eat, man. And I think that if you look at what Coach Sark has done or Brett Venables has done, I mean, losing seasons in their first years and weaker conferences, if you look at the Big 12 a couple years ago or whatnot, a few years ago, but they started with, you know, a higher floor with talent level with their team. And I mean, I think Sark was 5-7. Brett Venables last year, I think, was 5-7 as well. And then you see them really turn around this next year. I can't remember if Oklahoma won 10 games, but obviously Texas, you know, 3 years in, they're doing really good now. You know, I totally see scenarios in which we go from 4 wins to double-digit wins. Absolutely.
Okay. You know what? You know what I'm saying? Part of that group that we're a part of, what do you think about? I saw Britt brought along names being pulled up as OC. What do you think about that?
I like it, man. If here's the thing, man. Like we've talked about Rawhide like continuity. Yes, we've had other names, that if we're gonna hire from the outside, us being just randos, who would be some other people that we would look at? We got our short list for that, right? I mean, I've talked a lot about Junior Adams from Oregon. I thought he would be a really good guy to look at, but continuity is something that helps teams. There's a reason, why well, why the Cleveland Browns for so long were the way that they were. Why the Carolina Panthers are the Carolina Panthers now. They're
Mm-hmm.
firing coaches every year. You can't get comfortable. And we already know, man, that Brett Barloni, he has relationship with Shador. He's already a culture fit. He's already called plays for Shador. Now you wonder, okay, well then why didn't he just be OC here this past year? I don't know, but I know this past year he's probably learned a lot being around other offensive minds, Sean Lewis and Pat Shurmur. He's probably learned and picked up some things, whether things to do or things not to do. And I think I kind of like that idea. I'm warming up to that idea more and more of just promoting from within, like we did with Coach Dancy. What say you?
Oh, 100%. Hey, look, I think Pat Shurmur is more effective behind the scenes than he is as a pure OC.
Yeah.
If you was going to ask me, could it be an NFL OC? Yeah, I'm good with that. But I think my man, like you, everything you just mentioned, and the fact that he's young in the game, because I think he was on that top assistant coaches under 30 or whatever, or under 30 something.
Yep.
But he was mentioned. I think he'll also be humble enough, right, to listen to Pat of whatever input that he has. I think they could work well together. Take Pat's knowledge of the game and add it to what he's doing. I really want it to be Brett, bro. I really do. He possessed the type temperament, the type of attitude. You already talked about the continuity, and you can always use Pat Schumer's knowledge as an analyst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, again, and even if he's functioning as that kind of co-OC, obviously helping scheme, put together game plans, all of that, like, I think that's where he's most effective. But we need a guy that's younger that, regardless of what you think about Pat Shurmur, he can have the reputation of the games passed him by. He's a little crusty, all of this. Have him more behind the scenes. Have Brett Barlone be the face. He's younger. He can relate with these guys. He's got that energy. It seems like how people are talking about him, that he's a pretty strong recruiter, and we'll start to see that more and more over time. So that I kind of like it like that. And having the offense kind of be collaborative isn't, it's more common than you think. I mean, OU is going into a co-offensive coordinator situation right now. That's how they're going to run things.
Fact. And you said about him, dude, let's be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest about it. Pat Shurmur is dry as a tea cake. Now, a lot of y'all probably don't even know what tea cakes are. You know what tea cake is?
Now you got to educate me, Rawhide.
Oh, okay. Tea cakes, man. My girl used to make these tea cakes. They're like a bland cookie. I think a lot of
like
people
a communion cookie. Like
no.
It's
about like it's about that big brown tea cake, man. They real dry, bro. They real dry. They got a hint of sweetness to them, but A-Rose said tea cake's fire. But he said, "Come on, Rob." No, but straight up though, he is dry tea, and they very dry. If you eat them, you need to have some water to drink with them too. But yeah, he about as dry as a tea cake, bro. I would. A tea cake is as dry as angel food cake, but it's like a harder cookie. They say it's meant to be dipped. A little powdered sugar. Yeah.
Kind of like a biscotti.
I guess, bro. I just say it. Tea cakes, bro. I ain't had a tea cake in years because unfortunately I don't.
I mean, yeah, but Pat Shurmur's kind of like that. Sean Lewis was just like a torched cookie, man, like a torched chocolate chip cookie, man. So, his play calling tastes a little bit better this past year, but it's not something that, again, I would like Brett Barnalone doing his thing this
Right,
year.
right.
I would just like that. I would like that. Now, I do want to give a quick shout out Ted Byer up here. He sent us 2 super chats. Thank you so much. Both of them saying, to Rawhide, to David, keep up the good work. Greatly appreciate it. Means a lot. Now, I mean, Rawhide, and y'all are cracking me up, man. Peter, man, what you're saying, man? We know Tyler Brown's ineligible, man. That's why our offensive line was as terrible as it was this year. But we get him back this year. It's going to be great. And man, I'm just thrilled, man. You got any other thoughts or comments on the guys that we've brought in over the last few days?
No, I'm happy about the offensive line. I think we kind of covered that. What is his name? Is NJ? That other guy from Indiana. Do you think Ruben Yunjay?
Oh, he's from Houston, I think.
Yeah, Houston. I'm sorry, Houston. Yeah, him and Tyler Johnson. What do you think about him? Do you think he has Colorado got an opportunity to snag him?
Dude, I hope he comes, man. But again, like you pointed out earlier, I don't think anybody really has like a guaranteed spot right now, but we need to be bringing in that competition for real. And I would love to see him commit again. It's one thing like bringing JUCO guys and G5 guys up here, which can work. Someone pointed out on Twitter earlier today how Oregon starting right tackle was a G5 transfer. So this UTEP guy, Mayers, it seemed like he was in really high demand. Like he definitely could be starting level, but anytime we're bringing in Big 12 guys, SEC guys like David Connor, he's still somebody that I think very well could compete for a starting position on the line this year, coming from Florida. So I'm just pumped. Again, I don't have any allegiance to the names or anything like that. All I really care about is the production, and I'm just feeling so much better, man. I really am about this offensive line. And again, the fact that we're getting guys from Houston, maybe McCaskill's doing a little bit of recruiting as well. McCaskill better be that guy.
I think he
better
will
be that guy.
Yeah, and I think I know a lot of people was begging for him during the season. I appreciate Coach Prime not playing him, especially the way they ran the ball. I save that year, come in, play behind some guys that actually can block for you, and you may actually see some two back sets next year.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Green Creole's asking us thoughts on baby T.O. Cordell Russell, transfer coming in from TCU. What he's visiting this week. I think our chances of getting him are pretty substantial. What do you think about him?
I don't, be honest with you. I think honestly, man, that wide receiver group with the people that they just picked up. Give me the Vanderbilt guy, and I want you to shut it down. I don't want any more transfers. I don't want any more wide receiver transfers. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all saw what Zycarl did. Lewis, I think was at the state finals in the game. So I don't want I don't want any more. I don't want any more wide receivers. Give me my man from Vanderbilt, and shut that down. Don't pick another after that.
Oh yeah. Well, I will say Cordell Russell, freshman, 6'4", 210 pounds, out of Mesquite, Texas. Another Texas guy coming out of his recruiting class, was rated the number 13 wide receiver in the country, 17 prospect in Texas by 24/7, number 92 in the country. So he was very highly recruited last year, and just kind of how I feel about it. Hey, the more dogs we got in the wide receiver room, the better. Again, I don't care about the names. All I care about is making sure that there's production happening, just like Ohio State, just like Bama. I mean, they're not stressing when they get a guy that comes in and then ends up transferring, even though he's a 5-star, because they got so many other dogs, there at their wide receiver position. That's how I want this room to be built. So I'm a fan of more of those NFL style body types. So if we can have more 6'4", 6'3", 6'5", maybe we can get a 6'5" guy eventually, there on the outside. I really like that.
I thought ain't no a man from Vanderbilt. How tall is he?
I think he's 6'3".
6'3". Okay, so yeah, I just I would like more. I prefer more freshmen because I'm more concerned for the year after Shador leaves. I guess that's
Yeah.
what I'm really kind of saying. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? I just would that wide receiver room that they have right now. I think they got some. I think they got some killers in there, and I think this freshman class they brought in a few killers. You see what I'm saying? So you just get
Yeah.
one or two out of the portal. I think that's suffice. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather them to lean heavily on the high school guys at that wide receiver position.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. And I think you brought up a great point, and I'm wanting to ask your thoughts on this. You know, hey, so we know that Antoine Hill decommitted, a month or so ago. Oh, I did want to answer this question, Maya. How many wide receivers will see you have, including walk-ons? Probably around 20. Seems like that's what
Yeah,
Prime does every year. So,
yeah.
but anyways, with Antoine Hill, he said the original plan was for him to
Hmm.
reclassify and commit here and be in Boulder. And people didn't really talk about that, which I thought was interesting because that's kind of huge long-term news that was his plan. Now it's not going through. So I'm wondering, okay, we got so much momentum now coming with a guy like Jordan Seaton, Drelon Miller, Kam Mikell, the offensive line, all of that. And we're not done. We're just getting cooking.
Hmm.
That's what everybody's saying, right?
Hmm.
Um, even if we got a guy like Will Shepherd in here that's one and done or whatever, if we were to bring in somebody, I'll speculate on this, Bryce
Hmm.
Underwood, he's still somebody that I haven't wanted CU to give up on. If he reclassifies this year, sits behind Shador, develops rapport with some of these, like even Baby T.O., Kam Mikell, Drelon Miller, Omarion Miller,
Hmm.
Zycarl Lewis, these guys, then you're talking about in 2025, you can kind of hit the ground running. And he's already got guys that he trusts. We don't have to rely on the transfer portal, or we don't have to rely on a true freshman coming in and making an instant impact. What you think about that?
Yeah. Yeah. If they can get him on campus this season, is it possible? I thought that he said he couldn't get it done.
I don't know. Like maybe for this January, like I don't see that there's a way that could happen. But
Hmm.
I think now that it's the off season, you'd have like if he can be here in August, I think that could be huge. Give
Hmm.
him a full year.
Hmm.
But he would have a handful of credits to make up for. But I mean, if Bryce Underwood was planning to be an early enrollee in January of 25 anyway, he's probably a semester ahead as is, or working towards that. So you just have to grind a little bit more
Yeah.
those online classes or whatever it is.
So you're more about Hill than Underwood.
No, I think I would. Well, I'll say this. I don't care about either, like who it is. I think both of them are studs.
Hmm.
But I just think it's more likely, again, until I see a guy decommit from here and then recommit, I'm just kind
Hmm.
of looking at it like, hey, if you decommit from here, we're probably just getting somebody else.
Yeah.
Um, and I just want our eyes on, because again, the reports that Lawrence Collins was saying, out of Belleville was like, again, like Michigan's kind of dropped the ball with Bryce Underwood, even though he's right there 15 miles away from campus. It's still kind of up in the air. He's been
Hmm.
crystal balled a ton to LSU. They're
Hmm.
obviously in the lead, but maybe we've made up some ground. I mean, with what happened with Jordan Seaton, I mean, it broke the internet, man. So you have to
Hmm.
imagine that there's a lot of confidence, in what CU is doing compared to maybe what recruits were thinking 2 months ago or whatever.
Right. Right.
Like,
Right.
like
Right.
there's a lot more positive buzz going on with what they've been able to do with the offensive line. But I'm just a big fan of that Quinn Ewers plan. Again, have him here for a year, have him reclassify, no pressure on him. That way, when he truly hits that freshman year age, he's ready to roll, be that guy.
Right. I mean, standing right here, I mean, we're doing a lot of projecting right now, but standing right here, I would say, even if they got Underwood, right, I would say from right now, I would say Staub would be your starting quarterback after next season. I think it'll be Staub,
Yeah.
and Underwood would be behind him. And depending on how the season goes, it's depending on whether let's forget Underwood. I hate to use a name. Let's just say a top tier quarterback in their freshman.
Yeah.
I would say that something would have to kind of be going wrong in order to take Staub's job. So I think Staub is going to get a lot of time next year. I think they're going to be able to put teams out early in the game, and that will give Staub the ability to get some more playing time. So that after Shedeur leaves, he's a junior, right?
No doubt.
So he's got experience or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and all that. Unless he's just god awful, I think he would probably be your starter going into the year after 25. You just have to fend off whatever freshman they bring in. But that's a lot of projection. That's a whole lot of projection.
It's a lot of projection. I'll answer this, Stacy. Thanks for the comment. She says, David, please stop. Coach Prime isn't thinking about 25 recruits. Do you listen to anything Coach Prime is saying?
What?
I think Coach Prime is very methodical and calculated, and so we might not see a ton of actions, but I mean, he's not flying by the seat of his pants, that's for sure. But he is focusing on this next year as he should be. But to say that there is no plan for 25, I don't know if I can get with that.
Yeah, there's a plan. There's a plan for 25. Yeah, there's a plan. There's a plan for 25. Yeah. No coach recruits just year to year. Nobody does that. No.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I think we can start wrapping it up. Always appreciate your time. I'll say this. I want to say this. I don't want Ryan Staub as our starting quarterback. I'm fine with him as a backup, but I'm more of that. Hey, if they're elite, if they're 6'2" and elite like Shedeur, I'm fine with that. But ideally, I want our quarterback 6'3" to 6'5", baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got bigger fish to fry than guys the same size as Mata behind there back in the pocket.
But you want experience too. You don't want them to be breaking in. You know what I mean?
It's right. That's right. Bring in more transfer quarterbacks. Maybe we can get that Kentucky guy that visited. But yeah, at the end of the day, let's just get a top 10, a top tier quarterback rather, to replace Shedeur.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. I didn't say that, David. Jesus, bro. What are you saying? What are you saying? Coach Prime. Again, like sometimes I guess I just misinterpret like emphasis on some of the words, when things are written. I don't know. I don't know how to interpret that, Stacy. I'm sorry I didn't answer it right. Man, y'all are crazy, man. But shout out to the chat. All y'all are fantastic. I mean, shout out to the fellas. Shout out to Stacy. I'm sorry for putting words in your mouth. If I did, I didn't mean to. I was just trying to give my opinion. Shout outs to TB. I went back and watched that thing from TV, man. Just, what should I call him? Zach?
Was it Zach?
Zach.
Oh.
Man, shout out to Solid Gold, man. They were getting on you the other day on the panel, but at the end of the day, I appreciate every single one of you guys. The fact that we can get on here, chit chat about it, agree, disagree, make fun of each other. I absolutely love it. And I mean, we'll have to see where this whole thing goes over the next few days, I imagine. This is, we're still just getting started. We probably got another 2 weeks of this or a week and a half of this or so. Yeah.
Yep, man. Excellent job. We got to tip our hat to Coach Prime and that recruiting team. They did an outstanding job yesterday. So
yeah. Shout out to everybody. All right. Just a reminder, guys, any decommit, stop spending your energy worrying about what they're doing on Twitter. I'm sick of seeing that in my feed. I love every single one of you. Stop tagging me in that. Don't care about it. Please, for the love of God, stop tagging me in that. I don't care about it. So, till next time, guys, I will see you later. And as always, go Buffs.
Go Buffs.